everybody, this is Meena. I'm a diamond and gemology graduate. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the next part of the third C, which is color. So in the previous video, we saw what color of diamond is, right? It's basically colorless. Diamonds do not have any color in the purest form. In this video, we're going to be talking about fancy colors. So basically, diamonds in the general format do not have any colors. They're colorless. But then sometimes they might have tints of yellow due to the poor color grading, right? So due to some kind of inclusion or boron inclusion, we might see some kind of yellowness to the general diamonds. But now we're going to be talking about fancy colored diamonds. So what exactly are fancy colored diamonds? Fancy colored diamonds are any diamonds that have proper pure color, and these include the red diamonds, the pink diamonds, the yellow diamonds, blue diamonds, green, orange, purple, brown, grey and black. There are also many more colors, but these are the major colors that are there in the fancy colored diamonds. So let's see what these fancy colored diamonds are. Let's get into the video. The first fancy colored diamond that we're going to see is the red diamonds. So what exactly is the red diamond? Red diamond is basically a diamond which has a very strong hue of red color. In the RGB, the red color is one of the major color, and this diamond is very, very rare. So red is by far one of the most rarest of all the colored diamonds, and only around 20 stones have been found and certified so far as red diamonds. Because how do we exactly know if it's a red diamond or not? Just because a diamond exactly looks like a red color, we cannot, say it's a red diamond, right? There has to be proper certification for the diamond. Only then it will be, agreed as a red diamond. So with proper certification, there's only 20 stones in the entire world until now. And some of these red diamonds, out of the 20 diamonds, have got around $1 million per carat. Imagine how much that is for 1 carat of diamond. 1 carat literally looks this small, as you can see. This is how small 1 carat looks like. But a red diamond of 1 carat got over $1 million per carat. And this is basically one of the most rarest and most, beloved diamond ever. And very few people have it. We then move on to the next diamond, that is a pink diamond. So we all love the color pink, right? Pink is a very sweet and very, appealing color. And diamonds, and seeing pink in diamond is quite rare. It's not as rare as a red diamond, but it's still quite rare. And pink diamonds are pretty rare, but they're also highly desired by many people because it looks really pretty when you set it on a jewelry or on a neck piece or whatever diamond jewelry that you have. And pink diamonds of higher intensity are most rare. So if I have just shown 2 pictures here. The left side is a higher intensity pink diamond and the right side is a lower intensity pink diamond. So if you can see, the left side is more rare because the intensity of pink is much higher than the right side picture, which is very less intense. The less intense diamond is, it is not showing more of pink, it is showing more of white. But on the left side, you can see more of pink, and that's why this is very, very rare. Most pink diamonds are faint to light colored. Many of the pink diamonds that are already found are very, very light colored, more of the pastel color. So I'll just show you a small example. The left side is a proper pink hue toned stone and the right side is a pastel color. So if you can see, a pastel color is more of an English kind of color and it has very mild, hue to it and more of white base to it. So many of the diamonds that we get, many of the diamonds that are being mined, many pink diamonds that are mined have more of a pastel color and more of a light color than of a very strong and pink color. Many of the deep colored pink come from the Agril mine in Australia. So there is this very famous mine named as the Agril mine in Australia, and this is where we get major of the pink diamonds from. We then have the yellow diamonds. So yellow diamonds is one of the most familiar names that we all know because, see, in the general terms that we talk about, the general diamonds are colorless, right? But then when they have some kind of impurity or inclusion involved in it, it can have slight show of yellowness to it. And that is what we understand by yellow diamonds. But technically, in general terms, we don't call it yellow diamonds. We call it regular diamonds, except the color grading is very poor. But in fancy color terminology, we call it yellow diamond because it has more yellowness to it and proper full rounded yellowness to it. So this is way, way, way more yellow than the regular, GHI clarity, color clarity range. So for example, let's take one stone. This is a regular stone. The left side is a regular stone. This is basically a S colored stone. So S in the color range, I'll just do a small recap. The color range starts from D. D, E, F is colorless. And then we have near colorless. And then we slowly have faint color. And then we finally have proper light yellow color. So this left side stone is a yes colored stone. This kind of looks like yellow, right? But the right side stone is a proper yellow diamond. So this yellow diamond is completely under the category of fancy diamonds and not in the category of general diamonds. So canary is a term that is commonly used to describe intense yellow diamonds. So we don't generally just call it yellow diamonds, rather we use the term canary so that we can easily identify and differentiate between a regular diamond which has yellow inclusion in it and a proper fancy colored yellow diamond. So canary is an important term. I request all of you to note it down. Canary is a term commonly used to describe intense yellow diamonds. Some of the yellow are high intense and they are also known as fancy vivid yellow. So when they have more intensity or when they have more yellowness to it, it is called the fancy vivid yellow. So this is not that rare, you can pretty much find it, but it's comparatively, little rare than, black diamonds and other poor clarity diamonds. I will comment on that little shortly. We then move on to the blue diamonds. So blue diamonds is basically natural blue color is one of the rarest of fancy colored diamonds. So it is very rare to find blue colored diamonds because again, blue color diamond is also coming in the category of, something that is rare to find and is not mined in many places. These diamonds are amongst the most sought after the collectors. So many people, many collectors really like the blue diamonds because it is considered to be very rare and also considered to be very, appealing and auspicious. So colors can range from faint to very deep blue. Under the blue category, we can have very mild, blue like sea blue and aquamarine blue. And we can also have very dark, shades of blue. As you can see the scale right here, this is very faint blue diamond and it goes on till the deep blue diamond, very deep blue diamond. So blue diamonds can also, command a very high price because they're very rare at the same time. We then move on to the green diamonds. So one important thing that we have to note in here is green diamonds can sometimes be treated, and if it's treated by irradiation or other treatment, then it might not really be considered that rare. But then without any treatment, if it has a very good hue and if it has a very good shade of green, then it's considered to be extremely good, because green diamonds with no secondary hue or no other kind of treatment done is one of the most purest and one of the most rarest kind of diamonds that you can find. And this can also command very huge price among the people that really buy all these kind of diamonds, because they are considered to be really rare and really precious. We then move on to the orange diamonds. So orange diamonds might not be as rare as the red or green diamonds, but they still considered to be very precious and very valuable because they have a very lustrous look and they look very beautiful when studded onto a gemstone, when studded onto a jewelry. But at the same time, this looks very similar to a citrine. So citrine is a gemstone. I will talk about citrine in a different video. So if you can see, the left side is a citrine stone. This also has a very orangish hue to it. And the right side is a orange diamond. This also has a very orangish tone to it. But orange diamonds are way more, hard to find than citrines, because citrines you can majorly find a lot compared to orange diamonds. We then have the purple diamonds. So purple diamonds are also very rare, but at the same time this can also be treated and sometimes might have secondary hues. By secondary hue I mean that like the first purple and the second tone of purple. When there is nothing like that, when there's only direct one color majorly abruptly showing, then this kind of purple diamond is one of the best and is very rare. And most of these diamonds are found in less than 1 carat in size. You cannot find very huge purple diamonds because it is not formed in that manner. You can majorly find below 1 carat size. So they are also found in dark to vivid lilac colors. So this is a range for the purple diamonds. It is in majorly very dark and then also vivid lilac in a bright lilac colored format. We then have the brown diamonds. These are most widely available and they are surprisingly very cheap. Not actually surprisingly, they're pretty cheap because they kind of look, very dirty. I wouldn't really use the term dirty, but see, imagine brown is a very beautiful color, 100%. But then imagine having a brown color in a diamond. It might not look that lustrous and that appealing to the eye. And majorly many of the jewelers, they don't set this brown diamond inside any kind of, jewelry or ornament, because it does not add on to the entire jewelry or it does not give a appealing effect, because brown itself is kind of makes the entire luster a little bit dull, and that is why brown diamond is not that highly used in the market in jewelry and other purpose. But it is still very, it's a very good alternative for other, colored diamonds like pink, blue, gray or green. But it does not, stand in equal to the other diamonds. It is kind of little lesser because it kind of gives a very dull effect. Some other names that you can use for the brown diamonds are champagne diamonds, chocolate diamonds, coffee diamonds, honey diamonds, because all of this have a very similar color to the brown diamond color. So the brown diamond color has a very similar color to a chocolate color or to a coffee color. Obviously chocolate, coffee and all is very tasty and very good looking and everything, but in a diamond, brown is not the best color to have. We then have the grey diamonds. So diamonds with grey as the primary color are also very unique. This is kind of more of a white with a black mixture. That is exactly what grey is, right? Grey in the palette itself is white with little bit mix of black. This kind of also gives a very dull effect, but this is kind of unique compared to a brown diamond, because see, brown diamond just has a very dirty effect. It kind of looks like a little bit of a poop kind of feeling, but rather a grey diamond has a very distinguished silver kind of feeling, and that is why some people do really like grey diamonds. And finally, on the term, we have the black diamonds. So black diamonds are not very transparent. They do not show any kind of, fire or flash of any kind of like reflection of color or any kind of reflection of light. It does not show anything. It just has a very shiny texture to it, and it is completely opaque. You can't, see the light pass through it at all. It is very, very dark, and it is comparatively extremely cheap. The black diamonds may give off a secondary color of, grayish tone, slightly in some parts of the facets, but majorly it's filled with black completely. And they range from the category of dark to vivid color ranges. So this is the color range of, black. It starts from very dark gray and goes on to extreme black. Now that we have seen the different, colors and the fancy color ranges, we have to see how exactly do we grade it. And why do we do this? Because every diamond has a price. Basically, everything in the world has a price, right? You want to buy something, it's going to cost something. So how do you decide this cost? For example, I'll just take a stone. I can't be like this cost $100 million or this cost $1 million or this cost 100 rupees. I have to give the proof for giving the particular price. And how exactly do graders do this? They do this by grading the hue and the saturation and the tone of a diamond. So what do I mean by hue, tone and saturation? So let's get into the fancy color grading. So under the fancy color grading, we have to see the major three parts. So in the normal, color grading, we usually see whether if it's colorless or if it has more yellow in the normal diamond, right? We go from the DEF category, which is colorless, and then we go on to the SZ category, which kind of has a yellow tone to it. That is how we directly understand the regular diamonds color grading. But how do we do it in the fancy color grading? We basically see the hue, tone and saturation. So a hue is basically a diamond's overall body color. And what do I mean by the overall body color? So what exactly color is influencing the entire stone? That is what I mean by the overall body color. And then we have the tone. So what exactly is a tone? Tone is basically the lightness and darkness of a stone. For example, let's take a very pale pink stone. So this pale pink stone, the hue will be a pink color. But then the tone will be more on the lightness of the tone. It will be more on the light scale, not on the dark scale. Because it's a very pale color, right? So that is what we mean by tone. If it's going to be a dark red, then it's going to be a very dark tone. That is what they mean by a light or dark tone. We then have the saturation. So saturation is basically the intensity. How intense is a color? Is it going to be like, very dark and very high intense, like more bright or more dull? So a dark stone, for example, a dark red diamond can be very dark and at the same time be very dull. So is it like that, or is it going to be very bright and dark? Because the red can be extremely dark, but it can also be, having more of a blackness to it and making it look more dull. Or if the red is very dark, and does it have more of a whiteness to it and making it look more brighter? So in the left side, you can see a red stone, which is very dark. It has more blackness to it. And on the right side, you can see a stone, which is a red diamond. This has more whiteness to it, and this kind of looks more brighter. So this is how you grade the stone, by understanding the hue, tone and saturation. So these are the different things that you have to look under while grading a fancy colored stone. So what kind of grade do you give for the fancy colored stone? So we saw how you exactly grade it, but you have to give some kind of grade, right? In regular diamonds or in the general diamonds, we give the grade of D, E, F, G, H, I and different grades for it. We give different letters for it for the color grading. So here, what exactly terminology do we use? Let's look into that. So the scale ranges from faint. Faint is basically very light, and then we have very light. So very light is has little more of tone and little more of color to it. We then have the light. By light we mean it has a little more extra color to it. And then we have fancy light. So fancy light is more of brightness to it. And then we have fancy. This has more brightness and more color to it. And then we have fancy intense. This has little extra more color to it and extra brightness to it. We then move on to fancy vivid, fancy deep and fancy dark. This comes in the darker range of the color grading category. So these are the different categories that we have to, color grade the stone under. So this is exactly how we color grade a fancy stone. I hope you guys understood, and if you have any other doubts, you can let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.